finally June. We had a big month in May. So Paul, what's happening?
Kate, we're going to rewind all the way back to the first week in May, and that was when Blue Sky, that's Jack Dorsey, the original co-founder of Twitter, his new blockchain-based Twitter alternative. Now, it's kind of interesting, with everything going on Twitter with Elon Musk, a lot of people are looking for an alternative. Well, Jack Dorsey spun his initiative out of Twitter a few years ago, and it's built on what is called the AT protocol. He basically wants to make a social protocol based on the blockchain. So it's not just limited to this app. It would be available for any other apps to adopt, any other platforms, any social networks. And Dorsey really wants to make more the social networks be part of a platform, a protocol, similar to how we all open and enter the internet through a browser, that there's a standard of ways of accessing that. And he thinks that the future of social is similar. The user experience is still a little bit tricky, and that's probably why not everyone has jumped ship despite Elon Musk trying to push us out of there. So Kate, I know we didn't get straight into AI, but you tell me about this strike that happened, the Hollywood strike. Was this AI related, or what's going on?
It is, yes. So thousands of movie and TV screenwriters that are backed by the Writers Guild of America, they are on strike. And the WGA, they are demanding clarification and regulation around the use of AI in writers' rooms. And the debate is not really about completely banning AI altogether, but really just focusing on crediting the work and preventing AI from replacing writers. So the outcome could determine the role of AI in the future of Hollywood production. So very interesting.
Yeah, the title of our meme was AI's first strike. I love the pun. Certainly we're going to see a lot more of this. People's livelihoods, jobs being influenced or affected or lost due to AI. And this is the first battle in a major war on this topic. And we'll talk about more of this stuff in the rest of this segment, because AI, there's a lot more things happening in this section of the playing field in tech related to AI. Obviously, ChatGPT is going crazy. Google I/O happened last month too.
Yeah.
And if you saw that, I think AI was mentioned every second word. It was like a pitch deck for an AI company. It was crazy, but Google are obviously very, very worried about ChatGPT. We've talked about this in the past. And they have released another version of Bard, which is their generative AI chat engine, which is threatening ChatGPT. And I think it's Google's really making a big effort to combat what ChatGPT is capable of, and that's by integrating Bard into their search results. There's preview searches available to check out, just to see how the generative AI is kind of trying to answer questions that folks have predominantly been using Google to search for. On a personal level, I believe that Google has really shot itself in the foot over the last few years. They have made so much money. They have clogged the airwaves with ads. It's so hard to find anything these days. And when ChatGPT suddenly arrives on the scene, it knocks them for six. It answers questions without folks having to really dig deep through results and ads and even web pages that are filled with ads. So Google's on the run, but they are responding, and there's a lot of interesting things happening both with Bard as well as across the board with Google I/O. I think one of the really cool things was what they're doing with Google Maps using AI, and it's nonstop because they've been prodded. Google are responding, and we will see more and more and more coming from Google over the next few months and years for sure.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I wonder if Bard will be as good of a writer and summarizer as ChatGPT is.
The results are slightly different. It's obviously how the wealth of information that Google has, but also how it's been how the engine's been trained. There's a lot of LLMs that are bouncing up, both owned and run by these major corporations, as well as locally, and being able to run on your own device and take advantage of the content you have there. But everything's slightly different. Nothing is static, and I think we'll see these things evolve. It'll be very interesting when it's fully integrated into Google Assistant, which has faltered for the last few years. But yeah, it's happening all over, and some of it's exciting, some of it's almost worrying.
I know.
Have you checked out the new Photoshop?
Yes. Oh my goodness, it's wild.
It is, they've been really interesting. If anyone wants to go on Twitter and just search for hashtag Firefly, Firefly is the new AI engine that Adobe have integrated into Photoshop. So for the longest time, we've been worried about Photoshopped images, really capable designers jumping on and using Photoshop to doctor up images. Well, now Photoshop has made it very, very, very easy. It's spectacular. Some of the things we've seen, I think in part of our meme, we used an album cover. People are pulling album covers and using Photoshop to generate the scenes around the cover scene, with spectacular, really crazy, interesting results. And there's been a lot of stuff like this. One of the ones I saw recently was the Last Supper, the famous painting of the Last Supper, and folks have extended that scene to see more of what was there. Usually, these examples are pretty funny, but it speaks to some of the dangers that I think are on the horizon with not knowing what's real and what's not real. We've talked about AI hallucinations in the past. Well, these are forced hallucinations that people are creating intentionally, and it will be so difficult in the future to realize that whether an image is doctored or not. It used to take a lot of skill to do this. Right. Now it's got so easy, and you probably saw this last week as well, the fake image. And again, for us, Kate, we're from DC, we know what the Pentagon looks like. Someone, created an AI-generated image saying the Pentagon, there was an explosion at the Pentagon, which caused the stock market initially to drop. It rebounded pretty quickly, but it sent shock waves because people believed it. And I think we're going to see a hell of a lot more of this, which is, it's frightening. But anyway, that's some of the AI news. It's spectacular. It's frightening. Some of the AI stuff I think has got people worried. Well, how about we switch to some tech news that's actually, it's actually good. It's positive and impactful. What can you tell me? What else happened last month?
So a lot going on with women's sports in May. So there's growing momentum and increased support for women's sports. So several tech platforms are making efforts to promote and engage female sports audiences. So a couple of really cool ones. Roku has announced the launch of Women's Sports Zone, which is basically a dedicated hub for women's sports events and makes it easier for women to browse and pick whatever sports they'd like to watch. Google has also partnered with the WNBA to enhance the league's discoverability through their Changemaker program. So that's really exciting. And
very cool. YouTube
has also confirmed to live stream 19 Women's Champion League matches in the upcoming season. And finally, the official WNBA app has also undergone a makeover. They're now incorporating TikTok-style video feeds to hopefully attract younger users and get some momentum going. So really cool to see this.
It's amazing. It felt like a blitz last month.
Coming
all in the nick of time. You know that the World Cup is this summer in Australia. Well, you may not know this, but this is the first World Cup that the Irish women's team have qualified for.
Whoa,
so this is a big deal. Cool. I'm going to be back in Ireland to see that first game. Not going to the World Cup, but I'm going to be there to enjoy the festive atmosphere. It is a huge deal. I cannot wait, and I'm so glad that the women's World Cup, as well as women's sports in general, is getting more airplay. It's much needed. Still way behind. And kudos, I think, to the women's national team, the U.S. national team, the strides that they have made for the good of women's sports globally, as well as many others. But for equal pay and everything else, it's really, I think that's been a major influence, and it's much needed. Exciting to see.
Yeah, it's super cool. So Paul, we've had some really fun milestones going on. What's the latest?
Okay, June 1st, it's 3 Advance's 13th birthday. So, this started off with, starting a company where I created this company 13 years ago, and the first app that I made was for Ben's Chili Bowl. It was part of an app contest, and yes, I've said this story before, but I got compensated in half smokes. So we have come a long way.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you to the Ali family and everyone at Ben's Chili Bowl that give me a shot personally, and the connections through that DC Tech event really acted as a springboard for 3 Advance's growth. And now what have we got, like 15 full-time employees, a bunch of contractors. We've got clients all over the country, and we're doing great things. And we've even got a YouTube video. So
yes, oh my gosh.
It's all happening.
It's all happening, Paul. Congratulations to 13 years. That's such a huge accomplishment and milestone, and
Absolutely.
such a cool thing to be a part of.
All of this team made this happen, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to ring it in. And we got a new website. Go check out our website, 3advance.com. We have relaunched our new site as of June the 1st. So check it out. Let us know what you think of it. It's taken a lot of effort, a long time coming. Big ups to Kieran, our web designer, who really pushed this forward, and everybody else, Kamika and everyone else that helped out along the way. It's really exciting to see it live, and I'm excited to see what comes of it and what what people say. So check it out, everybody. You know what our website is, 3advance.com. Go there, let us know what you think, and of course, pass it on to your friends and family. So,
that's right.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right, guys. Catch you in July.
See you later.